Hello everyone, Tanak here. Welcome to episode 149 of Building My Industrial Empire in EVE Online. We will start with the Plenitude HR. You can see that we are now at the 249 member, which is minus 39 compared to last week. What happened is that one of our member corporation did a member cleanup of an active account. So it did drop significantly because all of their corp now is only active member. What that was about like minus 50 or minus 60 by itself. Plenitude Industrial Group did have a very good week in recruitment. We added about 20 character this week. So all in all, pretty decent week in terms of number of players. Like you can see now, 24 people online. So we do have a lot of active member now on the alliance. It's even more than that. But I'm a little bit earlier than usual when recording that. So it does show like this time currently like around 22 Eve time is pretty much our peak hour now. So that's it. That's all I have to say with HR. Pretty good again. We're getting more member. It's going great. Aside from that, you can see here that I'm flying my little my new Pioneer. Pretty nice ship. A good. I don't usually talk a lot about ship. I usually focus more on managing the corp, but this is a nice addition to the mining lineup. Especially, I think the best use you will see for that ship, personally, because if you're mining in ISAC, usually you'll get the mining barge, which makes just more sense. But if you're either under a war deck or you're going to zone that are more aggressive, the fact that it's more nimble than a mining barge, you can get out easier if you fit it properly. You can warp out pretty easily. So going like, let's say you're a typical ISEC miner, but you want to go get some low sec mineral or stuff like that, this is probably a good bet for you if you want something that can hold and mine a little better than a venture, but still has the ability to get out without being too slow. So anyway, I do like this ship. Now let's continue with the second part of the segment, the Plenitude Finance. There was a significant climb this week, again about 4 billion more than last week. Again, I probably more asset value than anything else. I don't think we should have had a big influx. You can see that the cash is pretty even. So it's mostly asset value that climbed up, which is pushing our number higher, I would say. But yeah, so that's again, we're breaking even, which is the goal. If I wanted to focus on making money, I could probably increase the cash flow significantly just by adding like a 10% moon tax or something like that. But I don't, that's not the goal of Plenitude. The goal of Plenitude is to actually help our member get rich, not for the corp to get rich. If I get rich member and I need money, usually they will contribute because they enjoy being in the corp. So yeah, that's it. Not much else to do. On the Plenimart side of thing, again, we got a good week again. That's just for today, so like 700 mil worth of sale. We do get like, again, regular sale. You can see like 120 individual sale that happened. Again, but still the biggest market hub. I did check the stat. If we go on average sell volume for the past month, so that's averaged out for the last 30 days, which I think is a better statistic than going like one day at a time because there are variance between the day. We are number 33 in terms of market hub on all of New Eden, but if you just go look at the value, it's not that much. It's around $1 billion a day, which isn't that big for a market up. But again, the like GDA by itself is more than all of the rest of the game. And Amar is like 1/10 of Jita, and then you divide by 2 for the new TTT, the perimeter market up. So like you quickly, if you go like past number 10, you're already at just 6 bill a day traded. There's probably, my guess is that there's probably station that we don't see on that chart because they are not public hub. So I think that to show on that chart, you need to be open to the public. I'm not sure exactly what are those that aren't being seen here, like in Smother or Fountain. So that I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes those charts are a little bit confusing, but again, Plenimart doing what it's supposed to do, which is just be the local trade hub of the Kennedy region. So this part is going good. We didn't get any new POCO this week. Again, that was not our focus this week. What we WAMP is currently under war deck, like a high-sec war decker. So just not to add an additional war, we chose not to climb. We have the POCO we need, so any progression on that front is just to add for income, but it's not a big priority for the moment. Like we've pretty much done with the initial growth. We have like what we need. More than that would be like extra icing on the cake, but I'm not pushing hard for it. So again, no big progression on that part. Financially, like I said, we're breaking even, which is the goal of the whole operation. Politics and war and all these other nice stuff. I was still at work, almost ready to leave, when I saw a ping in WAMP with cap tackle, and it turned out into a little bit of a fight where Zenitra got caught, and it turned into a little three-way brawl where the cap got destroyed. Again, 30 people jumped on the call, jump in fleet when it wasn't a pre-ping up or anything. So these are the types of things that you see when you live into when you live the nullsec life. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't there for the fight. Again, a bunch of other little fight like this happens all the time, so that you don't accuse me of showing only the one that we win. This one here, I think we won on the number of ship destroy, but we lost on the ISK war here against little fight against Legion of Death. A little fight like this, again, 13 people from WAMP in the fight. So sometimes it goes into larger battles, sometimes it goes into smaller battle. But again, I think most fight this week were like under 20 bill total. So a bunch of small fight, plenty of battle report, but always like smaller than usual. No like huge battle that I could show you. Pretty much business as usual. Aside from that, one thing I wanted to talk about was the mineral price, with the new catalyst expansion. If people that aren't following, you see a significant drop. Like, I'm following mostly the ISEC mineral, but you can see a significant drop in price value, even to a point where we actually lost money on our buyback program, because by the time the people make the contract and I accept the contract, and then we manage to offload the ore to somebody else, the price had dropped. The drop in price were so significant, and this is because the mining yield is higher, and it was it was to be expected. Now there's two theory in Corp about what's causing that. Some people are in the camp that this is an overreaction by the market, and people are offloading big stockpile that they had because they're afraid that the yield is going to make the price drop. So they're basically creating the problem they're fearing and just offloading a bunch of supply and overselling. And there's other people, and I'm more in that camp, that think that the increased yield is just that there's no demand for it for the market to accept it. And that kind of goes with what I was saying last week. Is my personal belief is that, and again, it's probably more a belief than that, like, time will tell, obviously. But what I think is that there's a limit to the amount of stuff that the game can absorb. So if you, like, one way to put it is, if you would put the ship for free, people wouldn't be undocking all the time and shooting each other, or wouldn't be taking, they might be a little less risk averse, but you wouldn't have an FC throwing a bunch of ship on a battle that he think he's going to lose, even if the ship were free. So you might generate a little more fight if the price of ship drop, but you won't generate that much more driving with the price. You might get a little more cap battle, you might get a little more escalation, but I don't think that it's going to be the driving factor. So, and you don't lose that many ship. And so you can easily, like, if you're like me, you lose a ship like every once in a while. I lose one, but I make way more than what I actually spend. And that's it for a bunch of people in game. So how much ship do you need to buy? How much ship do you need to acquire? And mineral are basically, like, their mineral and ISK are resources that the game generate. So you're always piling up and producing more on an old game where you have massive stockpile everywhere. But the people don't need that much. And if you're adding month after month after month after month, production, but no destruction, or not enough destruction compared to what comes in, you get to a stagnation economy where people don't buy, not because the price is too expensive, but because they just don't need it. And I think we might be at that point. But that, again, that's my personal belief, not a science, and I'm not necessarily the most experienced player in game, but that's like my personal armchair analysis of the situation. And I think that what could cure the game, or at least drive the economy back, would be to implement some kind of in-game means of removing asset, so that you could bring back larger profit in production, and you could bring back higher profit in the mining yield. So don't increase the actual mining yield, increase the demand for mineral by removing finished good from the market. And that could be, again, easily NPC supply mission. Bring me 200 railgun for the Galante Navy or something, and that would remove finished product from the game, that would destroy stockpile, and to offset what's coming in, so that you could balance destruction and production, which would in turn makes manufacturing more interesting, and increasingly makes mining more interesting. Anyway, that's my belief. Now, I talked about politics, I talked about finance, I talked about my vision for the economy. Other thing, me as a pilot. This week, I did play a little bit, but not as much as I wanted. I'm kind of torn as a human. Like Tanak, the person behind the pilot, is that I do have a bunch of stuff that I want to do. Real life, I was learning Japanese. It's no longer progressing. I'm around in 4 level, if people that knows what it is. I was learning German. That stopped progressing too. I really wanted to play Europa Universalis 5 and the new Crusader King expansion. I did get to play it a little bit, but not as much as I wanted to. I am playing Where Winds Meet with my wife. So Eve has to fit in all of that. So when I get home, I I'm just torn between a bunch of stuff. I do manage to log in every day. I accept the new app in Corp. I do a little bit of mining, but I'd say that Eve is sharing my time with other activities right now. And I actually need to find either a way to delegate more in Corp or actually like log in with a purpose, log in like when there's something to do. I usually make time for Eve. Like if let's say we're bashing a poco and there's a timer, I will log in for the timer and stuff like that. But if I'm at home, I got nothing to do, I already done my daily on all my character, and then I have to decide, okay, do I want to spend the time in Eve or doing something else? Well, if I don't have any pressing issue in Eve, I'll usually like give more time to something else. If I get the choice between playing with my wife at a game that we both enjoy or just playing in Eve, I'm gonna play with my wife. So it's a little bit like this. Again, I don't want to quit the game. That's not my goal at all. I do enjoy the game. I do still believe, and I do still believe as a player that Eve is probably the game where you got the highest player agency of all the MMORPG there is. So there is something special about it, but also at the same time, sometimes it does get a little bit, you get into a little bit of a routine and you do want to try something else as, I mean, entertainment need to be entertaining. And sometimes you say, well, I can log in and do something I always do, or I can try something else. And that's where your personal preference or your personal mood of the moment gets gets into the equation. So anyway, I've been rambling enough about this. Again, I don't want I'm always pretty transparent with that, so that you get to see the ups and downs and the highs and the low and the just neutral moment in the mood of a CEO running a corp. That's pretty much what this channel is about. Again, hope you guys enjoy. If you got any comment, any question, any advice or whatever, again, feel free. If you're not, like and subscribe. And see you guys next week. Bye bye.